What's up, losers, and welcome back to Zero Losers Studios. Now, I love Pokemon. How can you not love Pokemon? I feel like most people have been obsessed with it for at least a little while in their life. Some of us just never outgrow it. If you're one of those people, you're really gonna enjoy this week's video. Today's video is all about dark Pokemon theories that have been circling around ever since around the creation of the games. The world of Pokemon is so grand and encompassing that we just can't help getting pulled in deeper and deeper. And damn, as I say that, I feel a lot like the narrator of the movies.
The Kalos region. Like the other regions, a beautiful place where people and Pokemon live in harmony, reflecting each other's thoughts and feelings.
It's pretty much inevitable that some fan theories pop up here and there. It's just so surprising that so many of those theories are so dark. Let's start off with the first generation Pokemon, Cubone. Its Pokédex entry reads, a ground type. Cubone wears a skull as a helmet, concealing its face as it sheds tears for its long-lost mother. It cries loudly to express its loneliness. Same. It also always carries a long, thick bone. That isn't a theory. That is actual canon. It's also pretty metal. Wearing your mom's skull as a helmet? Jesus. The theory part here is actually that Cubone's mom is a Kangaskhan, another first generation Pokemon that's usually seen with this little Kangaskhan baby in his little front pouch, like a kangaroo. Meaning that that baby is actually a Cubone before its mom dies. Also, how long does Cubone have to wait for its mom's body to decompose before it can properly wear the skull as a helmet? And the big question, who thought that giving this Pokemon this backstory was a great idea for a child's game? But okay, moving on to the next theory. This is where things are gonna start getting a little bit darker. This next theory is that the Pokemon Ditto is a failed clone experiment of the legendary Pokemon Mew. Even you lesser Pokemon fans out there should know who Mew is from that one movie that made us all cry as children. And don't act like you don't know what scene I'm talking about either, because I'm sure you do. We find out from the movies and the games that Mewtwo is a genetic clone of Mew made by human scientists to be stronger than Mew. Again, this is canon. The theory around Ditto is that it's the result of the failed cloning experiments that came before Mewtwo was successfully created. Now, this one actually has a lot of evidence to support it. For one, in the game, Ditto spawned in the mansion on Cinnabar Island, where you can also find a bunch of documents that hint at the fact that Mewtwo was created in Pokemon Lab right next to the mansion. Ditto and Mew also share the same weight and shiny coloration. They're both the only Pokemons ever to this day that can learn the move Transformation and that can breed an egg asexually. Overall, it's up to you if you want to believe in this theory, but I gotta say I'm pretty much on board on this one. Makes Ditto a lot creepier and cooler of a Pokemon. But if you want to take things a little bit further with the theories, another big one that's really well known in the Poke community is the fact that Pokemon Blue and Red take place just a little bit after the Great Pokemon War. Like the Ditto theory, this one has a lot of evidence to back it up. The idea pretty much originated from the existence of the character of Lieutenant Surge, the electric type gym leader found in Vermilion City. When challenged in the games, he mentions how electric Pokemon are what saved his life in the war by paralyzing his enemies. This is pretty much the only concrete reference to said war in the games, but people have brought up a lot of little details that may support the theory. One of the biggest details is the obvious lack of adults in the game. Most of the characters in the game are either very elderly or just children. A majority of the few middle-aged characters that we see in the game are either gym leaders or Team Rocket goons. A great Pokemon War would also explain why there's such a huge emphasis on training kids so early how to Pokemon battle. It might even explain the age-old mystery in the anime of whatever happened to Ash's dad. But the great Pokemon War theory, like most good theories, brings even more questions to the table. Some fans like to speculate that the war is the origin of all Pokemon in general, that Pokemon are just some strange result of animals affected by some kind of nuclear radiation. To be honest with you, this one's pretty dumb in my opinion. I mean, Pokemon lore goes back ages and ages, all the way back to the equivalent of Pokemon God. To think they were all created just a few years before the Generation 1 games is just misinformed. This one is a bust for me. So now, moving away from the games and more towards the anime, we have what's probably the most well-known Pokemon mystery of all time. In the very first episode of the anime, we find out that Ash Ketchum, the show's protagonist, is starting his journey at 10 years old. Since that very first episode that aired in the US in 1998, Ash has traveled through 8 different regions. And yet, again and again in the movies and the anime, we find out that Ash is still 10 years old. It's a fact that's been bothering fans for about 2 decades now. It's only natural that we all come up with our own theories. One of the most widely accepted ones just happens to be also one of the most disturbing, and that's the theory that Ash never started his journey. That the entirety of the anime, including Ash's Pokemon companions, friends, and adventures, were nothing more than a figment of his mind as he sleeps through a years-long coma. God, this one definitely takes the cake for the darkest one in this video. If you remember from the very start of the anime, Ash and Pikachu are chased by a huge flock of Spearow, and to get away, Pikachu shocks them all and Ash into oblivion. Ash and Pikachu are left recovering on the ground, and that's when we're given one of the most memorable moments in all of Pokemon. When Ash looks up into the sky and catches a glimpse of what we later learn to be the legendary Pokemon, Ho-Oh. It's a beautiful moment, really, which is why this series is almost bittersweet. In multiple Pokédex entries, it's stated that Ho-Oh is believed to bring eternal happiness to anyone that sees it. This, combined with Ash's serious condition at that moment and supported by his lack of aging, is why lots of fans believe that the 10-year-old never got to truly realize his dream of becoming the very best. Parts of the theories go way into the rabbit hole and include Brock representing Ash's repressed sexuality. But I'm not gonna get into all that because it's a hot ass mess and it makes absolutely no sense. Plus, this theory is already dark enough as is, so let's drop it there, yeah? Well, now that I dropped the darkest of all Pokemon theories on you, I think it's safe to say that I effectively ruined all of your childhoods. Gotta admit though that some of these theories are pretty interesting. Some of them may even have you wondering if there's any validity to them. If you're a big Pokemon fan or just a fan of dark theories in general, we also made a video a while back about the Lavender Town Syndrome. If you love creepypastas and haven't watched it yet, go ahead and click on it, give it a quick like, and comment. Before you do that though, don't forget to like this video and also give me a comment down below. Let me know which one of these series was your favorite. Did you believe any of them? I am always curious to see what you guys think. Other than that, that's all I have for this week, so you already know what I'm about to say. I'll see you later, losers.